Hey guys, what is up? It is Marcus here from Tyrone Gaming. Today we are back with a second rant because I kind of like doing these rants. And today's rant is going to be a little different. It's definitely a different topic. It's about controlling your kids in public. Now, we've all had this situation happen. We've been at like the Keg or Red Lobster or some kind of fancy restaurant. You're enjoying your meal and then a kid starts crying behind you. It is one of the worst things that happens. So you're on a plane. Like if I'm on a plane, I'm sitting next to someone who has a small child. I just kind of like call the stewardess over. I'm like, can I have headphones because I know what's happening. Like, I mean, you know, it really shouldn't, but it is more or less that way. And believe me, I'm not just talking out of my ass. I do know how it is to calm down kids. I have aunts and uncles with small children that I've calmed down. It's not that hard. I mean, if your kid is bawling like a goddamn asshole in the middle of a Red Lobster, and you're kind of just like, well, he's not my kid, at least not right now, you're kind of being a douche nozzle. Like, there's no other way to put it. And similar to how a gym teacher does not, have the right to be an ass to unathletic kids, being a parent with a crying child does not give you the right to be an asshole to people who tell you to calm your child down. Like, I mean, I cannot count the amount of times where I've been like, could you please calm your child down? I'm trying to enjoy my steaks. You do not tell me how to raise my goddamn child. And I'm like, well, shut him up. You're obviously trying to wean him of something. It's not working. Like, I mean, it is really, really annoying when you're trying to enjoy a nice meal and this happens. And there are so many parents that are assholes about it. Like, for once, could you guys actually be like, oh, you know what, sure, and then just kind of, bounce a kid on your lap for 2 seconds while saying, shh, they calm down. I've calmed kids that aren't even mine down. I'm sure if they're yours, it's even easier. But even if he starts crying, could you at least, take him outside? Not just leave him there and let him cry? Like, or you're in, a Walmart or something, there's a kid crying his eyes out because he didn't get something. Like, could you take him outside or, try and calm him down or literally anything would be better than just letting him sit there and bawl his eyes out. Because I'm sure you guys will agree with me in the fact that this happens way too much. Like, there's so many times I can count that I've been on a plane and their ears are popped, so they just began crying like a motherfucker. Or, they didn't get something in Walmart, so they're going to cry. They don't like their food, they're gonna cry. They're hungry, they want to cry. They, seriously. And it's not like, well, just don't listen to it. Well, I kind of have to listen to it. Your kid is loud. He's like a goddamn fire truck. I mean, if I park my police car and forget to turn off the sirens, are you just not going to listen to it? I mean, I get it. All kids do it. All kids cry. You're never going to stop him from crying. I get that. But, I mean, then again, you could make him cry a little bit less and, remove him from most of the public, especially at a nice restaurant. There's nothing worse than being in a Cactus Club and right behind you there's a kid crying. Like, it is awful. Like, in a nice restaurant especially, isn't it just common courtesy to shut your kid up? Like, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying, if I'm in a nice restaurant or I'm on a flight, you could just calm your kid down. I mean, the worst part is when the parents are just a giant asshole. They're just a giant ass because you've got kind of fed up with your kid and you're like, well, you know what, miss, could you just shut your fucking kid up? Thank you. That would be great. I mean, well, you have a right to be more annoyed than they do. They're listening to the kid cry, but obviously if the kid's crying now, he cries a lot. And I mean, there are some kids who don't cry that much, which is really nice as a parent. You're kind of like, oh my God, thanks. And obviously, I don't have kids myself. I'm obviously not old enough. But again, like I said, I have aunts and uncles whose kids I've calmed down, I've looked after. It's not as hard as they're making it seem. You just kind of put them on your lap and go, shut the fuck up. Oh, yeah. They're not that hard to calm down. They're really not. And the worst part is they make it seem like, oh my God, my kid never shuts up. I have to give him Benadryl and 3 pounds of melatonin for him to shut up. But no, you really don't. bring one of those like binky things that they suck on. That shuts them up. It's pretty easy. But yeah, so that's going to conclude it for today's rant. If you guys like this rant, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you didn't like it, comment on what I could do better. And honestly, if you didn't like it, still subscribe because you're going to like some of the other stuff I post. So yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are enjoying the rant series. And I will see you later.